What's going on? Got some NFL news that affects the Jets. Tua Tagovailoa, Dolphins quarterback, in fact, did suffer another concussion per head coach Mike McDaniel. Teddy Bridgewater in line to start in New England. We want the Dolphins to beat New England, and if they do, we essentially control our own destiny if we can beat Seattle and then Miami later in Week 18. And with Tua, it's tough to watch. You see the replay, his head bouncing off the turf like a basketball, and then before the concussion, he's cooking like 20 yards per pass. And then after the concussion, they don't score any more points, and he throws 3 horrific interceptions. I'm laughing at these picks, not knowing, and now I feel horrible because the dude is out there playing with his brain scrambled. And when I saw Tua Tagovailoa laying on the turf with his fingers jacked up on Thursday Night Football, all of my hatred for the Miami Dolphins, it goes out the window. Just as human to human, that's tough to watch. You don't want to see that for anybody. And I think the NFL has to do something here. I know they have a concussion protocol. They've taken many, many steps for player safety, but I think they've fallen one step short here, and it's being exemplified by this Tua Tagovailoa situation. There's been former pros, RG3, saying he should retire. The doctor from the concussion movie played by Will Smith saying he should retire. One of his colleagues, neurosurgeon, saying every time you get a concussion, you're making a withdrawal from a bank account. And you don't know how much money God put in that account. That is a horrifying statement. And people have compared it to Luke Kuechly, who retired after multiple concussions in 1 year. I don't know the medical similarity between Kuechly's situation and Tua's. Kuechly's is probably worse. He probably had a bunch of concussions that were never diagnosed. He played in a different era. He played linebacker, right? But I think for the NFL, they should do something to where if you suffer multiple concussions within the same year, they have to find some sort of different protocol for that. Because per the medical experts, some of the doctors I just referenced, these batch concussions, that's where it gets really dangerous. If you suffer a concussion 1 year and then 3 years later and then 2 years after that, that is way different than if you suffer a concussion in 3 consecutive months. The risk for long-term damage is exponentially worse when you get those clustered concussions. I think in the NFL, if you suffer a second concussion in the same year, you should automatically have to go on the 4-week IR. 4-week IR, then clear protocol, then you can come back. And if you suffer a third one in the same year, you should have to shut it down for the whole year. Because this is the NFL's biggest problem, right? The NFL is top dog. They do everything just about as well as any other professional sport. They're going to be king in America indefinitely. But this, man, this is tough. This is the one thing that stops parents from wanting their 11, 12-year-old son to go out there and play football. And I think you have to do something about it at the highest level where the athletes are the biggest and the risk to injury is the highest. They got to do something about it, man. 2 concussions, you're out for a month. 3 concussions, you shut it down for a year. Because if Tua Tagovailoa, if he just goes through concussion protocol and he's back against the Jets and he takes another hit and he gets up wobbly, it is going to be a awful, awful situation for Tua and his livelihood, and it is going to be an ugly, ugly problem and a PR nightmare for the NFL. Tua should be out a month, and that's the way I see it. We'll talk football soon.